From politics to entertainment, from social issues to lifestyles, from newsmakers to pop culture. If it's Jersey, it's on Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
Well, he's very popular. Sportos, motorheads, geeks, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
On the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey.
7:08. Welcome to hour number 2 of Jersey Central on this Thursday on the new Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. It is Bert Barron. Hope your day's off to a good start. Got your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to the North Brunswick Youth Sports Festival. We'll give those away coming up a little bit later on. But joining me now on the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker Hotline with some information about this latest data breach that involves the Internal Revenue Service. And boy, it's making a lot of people nervous. He is from Central New Jersey. He's also an author, and we'll talk about a book that he recently wrote. But let's welcome to WCTC this morning, Chris Whalen, CPA, with some information on this data breach. Hey, Chris, it's Bert Barron. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Bert. Doing very well. Thank you.
Awesome. Good to talk to you, and thanks for taking some time to chat this morning. I got this alert from you yesterday. Anytime I see data breach and the Internal Revenue Service, I get a little bit nervous. But what is this Get Transcript application that has this problem here?
Yeah, let me explain exactly what a transcript is, first of all. An IRS transcript are the full details of one of your tax returns that you filed for any given year. So as you can imagine, that is a treasure trove for an identity thief if they can get their hands on that information for one or more years. So in the past, to get that kind of information usually was done through the mail, and a paper copy was sent. Now the IRS has created this and a few other websites to try to automate this process so taxpayers can get a copy of their tax return for mortgages, other credit needs, if you will. But of course, the security that's in place with a lot of the IRS websites is not stellar, to say the least. So what's happened here is that identity thieves can get on and pretend that they're you pretty simply many times, and then they can go get your past tax records for the past 5 or 6 years pretty quickly, and then they can sell that information, of course, in the black market.
And this is really a home run, a grand slam, if you will, of personal information, addresses, former addresses, income, Social Security, basically a person's virtual life story is right there. We're talking potentially hundreds of thousands of people.
Oh, it's more than that. It's really, and it's not only your information. Don't forget your children's information too. So they not only can get you and your spouse if you're married, but also your children's sometimes age, their Social Security numbers too. So if you have a family of 5, imagine suddenly that it's not just one person that can be affected. They have 5 potential Social Security numbers to get access to.
Man, this is really scary. So if people think that maybe their information has been compromised, Chris, so what's the first thing they should do?
Well, one of the first things that you need to do is honestly, you should call someone like me. I do a lot of work with people that are victims of identity theft, and there are facilities within the IRS. If you feel that you are in any way a victim of identity theft or credit fraud, there's a facility with the IRS for you to protect yourself that at the end of the year, you can get a special PIN number that will be used to file your tax return that no one else then can file your return. So if don't feel helpless, I know it's overwhelming. I deal with victims every day. We can get something in place for you. So next year, someone cannot use your or your children's Social Security numbers to file a fraudulent return.
Gotcha. So anything coming from the IRS about perhaps a way to kind of smooth things over, credit monitoring that maybe they're going to offer some people who may have been affected by this?
They are. I think there's over 100,000 people already that they're offering free credit work every month and a monitoring service. They also have closed that website down in the hopes of trying to increase the security of it. But there are other websites out there like Get My Refund, for example. So people have to be very, very careful. I know they want things to be automated and quick today, but sometimes I go the traditional snail mail route to make sure that I have paper going in the mail to a service center to get information back from my clients when I'm doing investigative work or tax research for them. So please take your time before you go online and do anything. Also, remember, these identity thieves are using some of your information they have already, mother's maiden name and things like that, to get into these sites. So people need to be really educated as to how to protect their data. A good example is Do not ever leave your personal data of any kind on a store's website. Don't store any credit cards online with any vendor. I know it's a nuisance to have to keep rekeying in information. Also, associated with this, a lot of the online tax services were breached, and they kept it pretty hush over the season. So H&R Block, TurboTax, Tax Act, there were millions of people. Their information was hacked. So I ask everyone, if you do use an online service and do your own taxes, please make sure that once you're done with your taxes, you remove all of your sensitive data this year. If you need to key it in again next year, you can do that, but do not leave any sensitive data on any tax server or vendor type like Target, for example, on their servers.
Oh man. Well, let's hope that the damage and the impact in this is minimal for people, Chris. If someone is concerned, how do they get a hold of you? What's the best way?
Well, the best way to get in touch with me is go to my website. It's Chris Whalen CPA. That's Whalen CPA. You can contact me there, email, text me. You can call me. My phone number. Please, all your listeners can call me directly in my office at 732-673-0510. If you have a concern, please reach out to me. I know this can be one of the most frightening of moments in someone's life. And we do have good facilities in place in my office to smooth things out, especially to protect your taxes and tax information from an IRS perspective.
All right. Well, thanks for being there for everybody, Chris. It's greatly appreciated. Before we let you go, let's talk about your other passion, and that's being a parent, being a father to three daughters. And you wrote a book about your experiences. You want to talk about that before we let you go?
Sure. I wrote a book and published it last year. It's called Foxhole Father: The Field Guide for Fathers, and it's meant to be advice and support for dads, married fathers, and single dads. From my experience raising my daughters, my oldest, who is now 25, and it's getting a lot of good feedback. And if you know a father or have a father, especially one who doesn't seem to be participating or have the confidence to deal with a lot of the issues happening today, especially with teenagers, I urge everyone to please buy my book. And again, it's supportive, it's educational, and it really is my day-to-day experience over 25 years of how I've dealt with from a parenting, a father perspective of how to raise my children. And they're now all grown adults and very successful. So again, it's Foxhole Father: The Field Guide for Fathers. It's available on Amazon.com, and also you can go visit. I have a Foxhole Father website. It's a great community there of support, and it's called foxholefather.com.
Good stuff, Chris. Great to have you on the show this morning, and thanks for the information on the IRS, and good luck with the book too. It's an absolute must read. So thank you for your time this morning, and great to talk to you.
Thank you, Bert.
My pleasure. Thank you. All right, Chris Whalen, my guest on Jersey Central on the